Hello, 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 and welcome to the latest installment of And Sarah Appeared. My name is Sarah, and I'm appearing before you today because I know, I know a lot of people have been like, "Girl, where is your mama? Like, what is going on?" And I can honestly say that this year has been the year where I've known God to be realer than I've ever known him to be real before. Like, I remember growing up, like, my grandmama and my granddaddy used to be like singing, "Real, real, Jesus is real to me. Yes, yes, he's given me the victory. So many people doubt him. Um, I can't forget about him. That is why I love him so. Jesus is real to me." I'm pretty sure I messed up the lyrics to it, but like I remember them like singing that. And this has been a Jesus is real to me year. Like I done had some I done had some moments with the Father. And there have been times where I've like I don't even know like if I can continue to walk out my faith walk, because it's like I'm not sure what's going on. Like I'm going in and out, and I'm not okay. And Jesus is real to me. Like he has been there through everything. There's been times where I've been like I want to, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to take this on. I want to live. And it's like the whole entire time God has been like, "Okay, yes, okay, okay, but you are doing this in your own strength, and you are holding on to control. And the things that you think that I'm requiring of you, I'm not even requiring. So when you get to the end of the road, I'm going to show you how you can live for me and still be authentic in who you are. Because in who you are is who I created you to be. And I didn't create you to be inside of a box or to be restricted. I did not create you for that. I created you to be able to express yourself. This is why your emotions are running over, because for so long you've been pent up in emotions, you've been pent up, and part of it is because you had a restricted, you know, background where you were not allowed to really express yourself. But a lot of that has been on me, on Sarah, where it's like you have not allowed yourself, you've held yourself back. You've held yourself back because in your mind it's like you don't have permission to be who you are. And this is why the soul has been deprived. You don't give permission for the soul to be who it is. You keep the soul locked up and you don't even give it to me, which is in itself like its own type of, it's weird, but it's like its own type of idolatry, because anything that goes beyond releasing and having a surrendering to God is idolatry. There might be a desire of your heart that you want, but as long as you know God is in control of the entire situation, then it's not wrong to have the desire of your heart, because you still have God on the seat and on the throne of your heart. However, it is wrong when you completely abandon God out of the picture and you say, "Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to self-help. I'm going to self-medicate. I'm going to do this on my own because I don't trust that God is even concerned about this issue." There's so many other things in the world that God is looking at and has to be over and that he has to govern. Why would he be concerned about something as small as my emotion or me not expressing myself in order to keep peace? And the truth is, he did not tell you to keep the peace. He said he is the Prince of Peace, which means even in a hellish situation, you find your peace in him. You're not the one that is always going to have to keep the peace and make everybody happy and make everybody pleased with you. And so, also, in the essence of him being a deliverer, he had to deliver me from always wanting to keep the peace and always wanting to be not like liked by everyone, because I really, I did understand conceptually, like, people are not just going to take to you and like to you, and I saw it in my everyday life as well. But it was not have everyone be angry or volatile or have an opinion. And what it ended up doing was it self-destructed me, because it threw me into the chains of public opinion, when really that doesn't matter. What matters is what God has to say and what he's speaking, singing, and declaring over my life. When I'm so distracted and when I'm looking at what this one got to say and what that one has to say and what is the perception of this, and how are they viewing me from this, then I'm in the most Luciferian like type energy that I could be in, because I'm not focused on what God is speaking over my life and the word he has to say over my life. I'm not even focused on what it is that he wants for me and how he's going to go about getting it to me, and partnering with the promises that he has for me. And so I have seen the evidence of God be more real in my life this year than any other time in my life before, because the expression, my creativity being expressed through my emotions, my mind, my body, and my soul, is something that was an aggressive force by God. God forced me to change. He forced me to go through what I went through, because he had to literally turn me inside out. And a lot of people will say, this is your isolation period. You should be in the cave. You should be letting God do a work on you. What if you've been isolated for so long? And you've been letting out silent screams for so long that you weren't getting the lesson. You were going around the mountain and you were just staying in the wilderness and you weren't understanding. And what if God had to force you to the other side? He had to force you out. What if God had to do something radical and public to make you go through the transformation that he's been trying to get you to go through for so long? An unapologetic transformation, an unapologetic transfiguration of who you created in yourself and in your being, the false you versus the real you. It took some time, and it took trial and error and tears and everything else, but I got through it. And it was God, it was Jesus bringing me through it the entire time. Like, it was him the entire time saying, it's okay, but you got to let go of this control. It's okay. You gonna have to let go. I never knew how to let go of control because I felt like I didn't have enough of it, like, growing up. And I felt like there were always things that were changing, and it was like a constant, nothing was ever in the spirit of like consistency. There was a small time period or a small frame where there was, consistency and harmony, and things were flowing, and there was a rhythm to life. But then things started getting so chaotic and so out of hand that I felt like there was no control. Not only did I feel like there was no control, but I felt like there was constant chaos, just running rampant. And because of that, I felt a need to have a control over every aspect of life in order to stop this roller coaster from just spinning, like constantly going on like roller coasters, like this is happening and that's happening and this is happening. But God had to put me on a different ride. In fact, he had to put me on a different wavelength and was like, look, I know that you don't like not being in control, but I need you to get on this ride, because I need to take you through some twists, some turns. I need to take you backwards. I need to have you suspended in the air in a waiting period where you just sitting with Jesus. I need you suspended in the air and you upside down sitting with Jesus, and you are looking like, I don't know which way is up, which way is down. I feel like I'm on the verge of a nosebleed and my heart is racing. It's in my throat. I just want to get past this. And it was like, will you trust me? And hesitantly, I was like, yeah, okay, I trust. It's like, because I had seen so many things and so many bad things happen, and like so many things have been like revealed around me in regards to people and trust and everything else. I just like, it had me even side-eyed in God. Like, I don't know if I could do this. And that's bad when you get to the point where you side-eye God. But that's where I was at. So now that I'm off of one ride and I'm getting on to the next, but I'm allowing God to ultimately conduct the ride, I feel like I've gone from training wheels to big wheels. I feel like um I've taken the training wheels off, like, okay, this is kind of like how life is working. That's very, I know that's very alien like to say, but this is kind of like how life is lifing right now. And it's okay that it's working like this because God is still in control. I haven't had like faith in God like this ever. I'm talking about, there's something in me that is rooted in my belief that God is on the throne and everything is in his control. For the first time in years, I have a peace or a calm over me. For the first time in years. And I know that's evidence of God too. When you're like emotionally not okay, spiritually not okay, and there's an unrestlessness, like, in you, sometimes you can't articulate that because you don't want people to think that you're unstable or that you're complaining. But really, it is a cry for help. You are not unstable or complaining because you have a restlessness in you. You need more of God. You need more of Jesus. And you're going to have to get to the point where it's like, I had to let Jesus know, I don't trust you. I do not trust you because I'm scared. And I know what you've done in the past, and I've seen what you've done in the past, but there's something in me that's not allowing me to trust you. Take it out. And so I am living in an answered prayer. I'm living in an answered prayer. Like, yep. I'm hearing in my mind this song, take the limits off, release me. And I can identify, because I would say, like, yeah, that was a limitation that I had on God. I put God in a limitation. I didn't think that he could do the impossible in me. I didn't think that I was able to be repaired. I didn't think that I was able to live life or be happy or even deserving of life or love or anything beyond like a livelihood of reproach. Like, I didn't think that. And God was like, no, you don't know who I am. And I still don't know him as much as I need to know him. But I do know this. I'm really in love with him. I'm really in love with God more than I've ever been. Because he settled something in me. And for the first time, like, I'm holding his presence. I'm holding his presence. And I love that.